We're making sure we have the right angle of this house to get the best view possible. We only got one chance to do this right.
We're trying to determine how the angle of the roof is going to affect the view of the mountain range, and whether or not we need to tweak where we have it or not.
The best idea is to go ahead and take that A, stand it up, and get a quick look through it. This is a simple mock-up of the A we put together with lid screws. The actual A will be put together with bolts and spaced 16 inches on center.
We are both going to take turns studying the A while the other one steps back to make sure that the view is ideal for what will eventually be our living room. Yeah, that's probably good. Now that we've got the majority of our prefab work done, we can start getting these holes drilled. Josh has the auger going. He's going down 4 feet and 18 inches wide. Every now and then I go over there just to measure and check for depth to see where we're at. He's pulling out as much dirt as he can just to get it out of the way. To be as efficient as possible, we're going to lay out all the forms and rebar next to each of the holes. Some of the rebar is going to get tied together for the deeper holes, and the shorter pieces of rebar are going to go in as the concrete is poured. The forms are going to be slid on top of each piece of sonotube, screwed into the sides. Then we will place the sonotube in the holes and adjust it for the proper height using the level. Once we hear the solid beep, we know we're at the right height. Now we will pound in each of these stakes to support the sonotube form and keep it at the proper height.
While Aaron works to level out each side, I screw in the forms.
basically just need to repeat those steps for each sonotube. We are on to day 3 now. More sonotube needs to be cut. Sonotube. And more wood needs to be cut to hold the anchor bolts. It's really crunch time for us right now. We've got the concrete truck coming at 3 and we have no time to waste. Luckily, we've really gotten into a good flow with this, so I think we'll be just fine. Josh is getting the rebar in the last few of these forms, and I'm laying out the wood for the anchor bolts so that Josh can start drilling and I can start attaching the anchor bolts. The concrete has cured, and now it's time to get these forms off.
That's it. That's right. Put your back into it.
So working as a couple on a home build, what has it been like for you?
Tough, but I'm not the one with the baby in my back.
Well, it's been completely new for me. I mean, we've worked on smaller builds together as a couple on our previous property, but nothing for me to this scale. So it's definitely been a learning experience.
And the last job we did together was a chicken coop.
Yes.
And now we're doing concrete, doing beams. I'm going to start doing the entire thing for our house, trying to teach Aaron
Yes.
how to make this work. It's
Yeah.
a learning experience on my side. Definitely has.
Yeah. I mean, he's done an excellent job, I have to say, at practicing his patience with me. I'm completely learning alongside of him, and I think I've done all right. What would you say?
You're doing good. Definitely are.
I'm trying to. I'm trying to absorb everything that he's teaching me, and it's definitely been really interesting for me, and I've enjoyed the experience so far.
The hardest thing about this entire task is not doing the job, it's with the kids around us 24/7. The baby, the two boys, they always need something, we always gotta stop, but that's the hardest part of this job, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I mean, it's just the typical parenting duties that you have going on with kids, you know. I mean, the baby is definitely the most high maintenance of everybody, of course, which is understandable. I mean, she's got needs. The boys are much more self-sufficient than she is, but we push through it and we find a way to make it happen.
Yeah, it's also good for the entire family. Boys seeing what we're doing, they get, I guess, an experience of what we're doing.
Yeah.
And
it's a good experience for the entire family, and it's definitely brought all of us closer, I would say. What do you think?
Yes, it has, yeah, definitely.
So I really struggled here trying to find a good way to balance this beam. It was really heavy and I needed to hold it in place for him.
You gotta keep in mind, it's an 8x8 pressure treated beam, 12 foot long. That thing's probably close to 300 pounds.
I needed to balance it for him so that he could go ahead and mark where we were going to drill the holes.
Yeah, it's a lot easier than measuring. We put it on top, square it up, make sure we're good, hit it with a hammer, and the anchor bolt leaves the indention where I'm gonna drill.
So once he got everything marked for where he needed to drill, we were able to just roll the beam down and then he could start drilling. So before we go any further, we are going to double check and make sure that everything is square. We had it all squared up, of course, when we put the beams down, but we always like to just measure twice and double check things.
4310. Exactly. Alright.
We're marking the beams every 24 inches on center just so we know where to place our joist.
So now we're ready to start framing up the floor.
Me and Aaron have been dreaming about this for, I imagine, years now, right?
Yeah, years.
And the thing about this, we're constantly working, and we got to stop and look at the view and just feel how blessed we are to have what we have.
I thought you were going to stand it up for me.
No,
There's no handouts around here, are there?
No.
Look at that, yo, goat! I got it! I'm just going to look it up this time.
Yeah?
Then I don't need to worry about it.
Let me see how you do it. You got it. Yep, just like that. Yep, just like that.
Am I in the middle? Am I in the middle?
I don't know, you tell me. You're about a foot too far that way. Go this way a little bit. You're gonna hurt yourself. Oh, yeah, there you go. Just like that. Squat it.
Okay, stop!
Squat. Got it?
Stop!
it up.
The sheer exhaustion from the long hours that have gone into this build are visible on our faces at this point. We are sore and tired, but endlessly motivated and excited to keep pushing this build forward. We made the commitment to be out here every day making some sort of progress, big or small. While we do have a deadline to meet, being dried in before winter hits, this is more about the journey rather than the destination. We didn't come out here to just slap a house together. We came out here to experience the build as a couple and to develop new skills individually. It is about what we have and will continue to gain from working together as a couple, struggling, failing, succeeding, laughing, sweating, and eventually basking in the ultimate satisfaction of building a home together for our family. We have found building our home to be a lot like raising our own food. It is immensely satisfying. No one could possibly care more about how it's done than we do. We put endless care and effort into both to make sure the end result is exactly how we want it to be. We know firsthand exactly how the food was raised, what it was fed, and how it was processed. and we have placed every board, hit every nail, and planned out every single inch of this house. It is mid-September now, and winter is knocking at our door. The rainy spring and summer that we've had continues to challenge us. We are trying our best to both not rush the build and yet have our little family safely inside the A-frame for winter. It's a tall order, but we have never not accomplished something that we've set out to do, so bring it on.
Scared to death, white knuckles, hold them tight like this. Think you're gonna fall. Hope it is on. You okay?
I'm fine. Cool as a cucumber.
Yeah. Roasted. Yeah, sit down. You got it? Well, pick it up, girl. Push on that end, leverage.
Back to your leverage one more time during this build.
You're so funny, don't you? Put a hole in the roof!
The heat was in the tools. He was right.
You hot now?
Yeah. Warm me up real quick.